With me now, Washington Examiner correspondent and Fox News contributor Byron York. Byron, good to see you. Okay, I think you can probably forgive a lot of America if they don't know the difference between impeachment and impeachment inquiry. What's the difference? What does this mean?
Well, traditionally, an impeachment inquiry has begun in the House Judiciary Committee, which does an investigation of possible charges against a president, and if it gets so far, might actually vote on impeachment articles against a president. But it starts as an investigation. You know, one of the things McCarthy really opposed the Democrats on during the first Trump impeachment was that the Democrats cut all sorts of corners and dashed through the impeachment process. And McCarthy felt there had to be an actual, rational, slow, deliberative process. And I think that's what he's talking about now, that the Republicans could do an impeachment inquiry. And a lot of them, by the way, feel it's too early even to do something like that. But if they did do an inquiry, that's no guarantee at all that they would actually vote to impeach in the Judiciary Committee or in the House as a whole.
Well, the Senate's controlled by Democrats, so even if you go through the inquiry and you decide there's enough there to do the full-blown impeachment, it's probably not going to get anywhere, Byron. So maybe the inquiry is the best you can hope for if you're in favor of something like that.
Well, I think the courts have shown in the past, have decided that impeachment inquiries have more power than just a regular House investigation would have. So you can see, and of course, there's some Republicans who would like to impeach the president. There's no doubt about that. But I think McCarthy is also looking for a way. You just in that answer he gave, we didn't play all of it, but he went through all the evidence that Republicans have right now about Joe Biden being involved in his son Hunter Biden's overseas business dealings, and perhaps there's this allegation in the so-called 1023 form that Biden actually took a bribe as vice president. And I think McCarthy is saying that needs to be seriously investigated. Don't blow it off. Look at the amount of investigation that went into allegations that Donald Trump colluded in the 2016 election.
Right. So you get a real inquiry. Unlike the Trump impeachment, you get a real inquiry. Got it. Byron York, we got to leave it there. Good to see you, sir.